Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd, and as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
The sequel is set in the years following the initial deadly home invasion, where Norman Nordstrom lives in quiet solace until his past sins catch up to him. That's right. We watched 2021's Don't Breathe 2. I didn't know he had a name until I read this. I just thought he was the blind man.
The old blind man? Yeah, I didn't know he had a name either. Because I tried to find his name and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's just blind dude.
Yeah, I don't know why it's Norman Nordstrom. I mean, if they found something in the first... I didn't want to watch the first one over again. Because I was like...
Well,
they said it wasn't like connected as much, right?
Well, here's the thing. What we know about the first one, we can call that a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I don't think it was. To me, it was more of an action drama rather than a horror movie.
It was okay. This is how I felt about it. I'm gonna call it like a smarter Steven Seagal kind of revenge flick from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what this movie was.
Because I didn't view it as a horror movie. Like, I mean, I love the first one, and you could see the horror aspects and elements of it, but it was just a revenge movie.
Yeah.
I was like, are we supposed to care about this dude? Like, even at the end, he's like, I've raped. I'm like, yeah, your whole spiel isn't really saving anything here.
Well, I don't get why they were trying to do his whole redemption thing, because he did some pretty horrible shit in the first one. And even he says he's not a good person, so...
And stumbling upon a little girl and just raising her doesn't really make you a good person.
And the thing about... Here's the big thing that I get that kind of threw me off with that, is... The dad was in jail, right? He even said that he was in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he knew that the blind guy took the daughter, right?
I don't know if he ever knew.
He figured it out after he saw her.
Okay.
Somehow tracked her down. I don't know. Well, the guy didn't fucking move very far. It was like he lived 4 or 5 miles down the road. It wasn't like he's just hanging out in his old neighborhood technically. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, there she is.
So it made it seem like he just stumbled upon. He was like, oh look, we have the same streak in our hair. That's my daughter. Like,
But still, the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, okay, yeah, the dad and the mom are piece of shit people by being, meth cookers or dealers or whatever it was. But their child is missing. That's something that I know the police and whatever need be don't fuck around with, because they're going to try to find that child.
But it didn't seem like anyone knew she even existed besides them.
Yeah.
Because it was like when they had those flashbacks and he was watching the news and all that, it was like no mention of like a missing child. It was like, oh, they got sentenced to 8 years in prison, this and that. It was a meth lab, and there's like no one was like, we're missing a child or anything like that. So like they may not even know like she was alive.
Okay.
Usually, so I mean,
because
they were meth heads, so who knows if they.
And it's so funny. I know that's like it's all supposed to be Detroit and stuff, and like how big spots of Detroit are just abandoned. But
yeah,
I'm like, how rural are we supposed to believe that this is? You know what I mean? Like,
it really made it seem that way. And before you see them, be like, okay, that's like a 4-minute drive, and you're back at your old house. Like, it made it seem like they were like way out in the country or something, and like in the middle of nowhere. But then like later, I don't know if it speaks to more of like the the stereotypical movie Detroit, or if it is supposed to be like they were out in the middle of nowhere. Like nobody shows up when his house burns down.
No.
Like he passes out outside, and like the fucking dog has to come back and wake him up because nobody cares.
Wait. I just remembered. She was at the house laying flowers for her mom.
Yeah. And
that's how the dad tracked her down.
Yeah, that's right. That's where he first saw her. That was the reveal later in the movie.
Yeah.
Because they made it seem like Yeah,
she heard the noise, and that's when she she left.
It. Yeah, I was just like, when she decides to just say fuck everybody and crawls out the window, and she's like, I'm just gonna leave, before the Mexican Charlie Manson looking dude chloroforms her.
Carlos.
I was like, why do you have Charlie Manson face, Carlos? No, cut it off. You got
Carlos Manson.
You have to cut off.
The thing that was me about The thing that was funny about him is he was really the only one of those dirtbags that had any sort of redeeming qualities about himself.
They all had wild hair.
Yeah.
Bad haircut. Fucking bleach blonde with the side shave.
There's nowhere in Detroit to get a good haircut, apparently. Is all this movie.
No.
And apparently, in Detroit, they really dig that bleach blonde Eminem look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the Wish version of Eminem.
That was a straight. I thought it would be the Wish version of Eminem, and I thought what if that's like his stupid cousin that's just like trying to capitalize off he's my cousin, and it's like, and then I had this stupid thought of if there was celebrities doing those cameo things for $50, I'll say hi, or happy birthday to your sister, stupid shit like that. What if there was one that was a complete joke, but people could do it? It'd be like, I'm Eminem's third cousin. And be like, why would anyone ever want to say, get a happy birthday from that guy? But it's like, I will do it for $5. Just and then you could send it to your worst enemy and be like, why would you send it?
You said he looked like a discount Eminem. He looked to me, I don't know if you know who the person is I mentioned, but he looked to me like a discount Cody Rhodes. He's a wrestler, and to me, yeah, if you look him up, then you'll be like, okay, I can see it. Because even Kim said, who's that?
I just figured it out. If Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly had a baby, boom, there he is, Jim Bob's brother.
Okay.
The first guy, I was like, is that Donnie Wahlberg for a second? When he was in the bathroom?
He looked familiar, yeah.
Oh no, that's Warren. That's Warren from Empire Records. He was caught stealing CDs at Empire Records. On Rex Manning Day, nonetheless.
Yes.
He was just a creep to begin with, because why the fuck is he hanging out in a woman's bathroom?
Well, after we saw the reveal in the flashback that he followed her basically from the house, and then saw her and was like, if she's leaving things thinking her mom was here, that might be her.
Well, yeah, and as she walks by him, he sweeps that gray thing in her hair,
which you're always led to believe. It's like she's just being creepy. He's a creepy dude. But then I do enjoy that. While this movie was just a kind of almost generic, like I said, a most generic '90s revenge kind of stupid action movie, right? It's a more sophisticated version of Steven Seagal shit from the 90s is what I'm saying, right? So I'm glad that they also added little twists here and there. I mean, they weren't major, and it was kind of all right, we're going to show you this, or kind of leading to that, and because the whole organ thing, I was like, is those little red igloo coolers the official organ transport system? Or is it just that's what the movies have us believe?
No.
Yeah.
It's definitely black market organ transporting.
But no, but even you watch Grey's Anatomy and stuff, they always have the red or the blue cooler.
They do, but they always have the official hospital laminated logo on the
front. There you go.
Sticker on there. But no, but maybe it's if it's legal, you get the blue cooler. Illegal, you guys have to use the red cooler.
One.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like lightsabers. You have to write. You get the
red
color.
One hides the blood better, maybe.
There you go.
There's not enough ice. What do you have? All right. Well, I had to do this with bloody hands. So
it's blue is official, red you don't ask.
But what if you gotta carry an arm or a leg, a whole leg? It's not gonna fit in that cooler.
It's not.
No.
What? How far down the range of the igloo line? Do we go with coolers?
What's the question? Does Igloo have a medical line?
That I'm saying, is there an official
Who knows these things? I have
we need an igloo rep.
We have questions. Again, we need medical friends now.
Add that to the list of people we need to speak to.
But apparently, to Don't Breathe 2, according to Don't Breathe 2, it's also convenient to hide your Molotovs in.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what it did. And it was it was convenient. It carried a 6-pack of Molotov cocktails.
I mean,
at least.
They stand up. They're not going to spill. Bada bing, bada boom.
There we go. Igloo. Mm-hmm. The brand for anarchy.
And then if you need an illegal transporting system for your organs, you got shadily. Then you got, just take them out, put some ice in.
We threw the Molotov cocktails out, killed the guy. Now we're harvesting organs. Fill this motherfucker up with ice. We're good to go. They live in a hotel. Ice. Yep. They got ice machines everywhere.
Was it a hotel or was it like a rundown train station?
It was a rundown hotel. It had a hotel.
Yeah, there was a
sign on
hotel
the
sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did like when he glues the
They're
guy's
trying to
fucking face shut.
Detroit version of some New Jack City shit.
Yep.
I love when after he glues Eminem's discount Eminem's face shut, he cuts his face open, his lips open again, and he's like, oh,
He is a cheesy one. Like, what was it?
It's a dead fucking seal.
Dead
And I was like, sure, Glenn. Okay. KK, Glenn.
I'm like, that old man. I'm like, oh, okay. When that first happened, I was like, did he come on somebody's face again? Like, are we bringing back? We bringing back
right and left.
We bringing back the turkey
Splooking.
baster from the first one.
I haven't forgotten about that turkey baster. I just want that noted. I have not forgotten about it, and I was not redeeming in any way in this movie.
On his part or the other part?
On his part.
Because he took the turkey baster too. So to be fair,
Yep.
No, it
He
is
did.
not fair until he is impregnated.
well, he was impregnated with his own seed.
No, he did not have
the
to
face.
grow anything. He held that other woman
No,
there
man.
and impregnated her.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Ugh.
When's all that work just to find a meth baby in the street? I mean, come on. It's Detroit. Wait long enough, there's a meth baby in the street is what we're led to believe.
Yeah.
You'll find one.
I did enjoy just watching all of these horrible people just beat the shit out of each other, though.
Oh, yeah.
Good time. I was like,
No,
fuck him up with the peas.
There was
man.
a lot of great fighting. There was a lot of great kills, like a lot of good like action. And I was like, it's great. Like I said, it's a smarter Steven Seagal movie. Like,
And they really layered in that family trauma / white trash / meth cookers /
Oh.
no, that poor girl. I'm like,
orphan.
no, that poor girl. I'm like, when your goal in life at like, what was she like 10, 12 maybe? It was at
Something
8,
like that.
so it was like 10 to
10,
12 range,
12,
right?
yeah.
If your whole goal in life at 10 to 12 is I'd rather go live in this home for children over there, look how happy those children that live in a fucking orphanage are.
Yeah.
Like, that's how shitty your life is.
Yep.
Just better options than the
And
one
what
to
in
live
the
there.
gaslighting fuck does he keep saying to her? She's like, I'm lonely. And he's like, you don't know what lonely is. Bitch, I just said I was it. So obviously I know what it is,
I'm like,
bitch.
all it was missing was like those like military signs, like you don't know what lonely is. Like, oh no, like those signs like at the beginning of like Metallica's One, like those sounds of war. It's like he's having one of those cheesy '90s flashbacks in his head, and it's like you don't know what lonely is.
Okay, so did he become blind, or because that's the weird thing about it is how they show that he was a Navy SEAL and he had that military background. So somehow, somewhere, he's been blind for how long? That's the one thing I was trying to figure out.
I don't remember if they really went into that in the first one, because I haven't seen the first one in like forever, and I didn't want
it's
to
a
watch
while.
the first one because I didn't want it to like skew this one in any way. Because the
Yeah.
one thing that I do remember hearing about this one, I think it was Fede Alvarez was saying, he's not the protagonist. Like
Yeah.
it may look that way, and it is a revenge film, but he's not really the protagonist in any way of this film. I'm like, how are you going to pull that off? Because it looks like a straight revenge film. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, okay, I can see that. Because you're like, wow, both sides are shit options for this fucking kid. Like,
That poor kid.
shit. Like, her best option was the Ranger delivery chick. Who I'm like, that's the only death that I'm like, God damn it. I wanted her to get some vengeance and like some I wanted her to kill at least one person before they kill her.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor girl. And again, the one thing that we learn from all horror movies is always check the fucking backseat.
Especially if you get a van.
In
Yes.
desolate Detroit, apparently. It's so abandoned.
The other,
Yes. Sorry,
Here's the other
sorry,
thing, yeah.
Detroit. This is what movies have labeled you as. So I'm sure it's not as accurate as movies would lead us to believe.
Here's the other thing that frustrated me about her is when she got out of her van to tell them to move. It's like, you can still go around them, right? Because what you have, it was a 2-lane bridge or tunnel, whatever you want to call it. It's like, you could still go around.
One lane.
Okay. I think it was a 2-lane, but there was so much trash on the side that it basically was a 1-lane. Because I think there might have been a washing machine over there or a dryer. I couldn't really tell. And then a bunch of other stuff that kind of looked flammable, like at the drop of a hat. So, yeah, you don't want to drive too close to that side.
They also
But
filmed
still, though, she should have been able.
so like that's what they're comparing to Detroit.
Yeah,
this
is what Hollywood thinks of you, Detroit.
I haven't been to Detroit.
So is that saying that like Serbia looks as bad as they're saying Detroit is, or it's safer to film in Serbia than it is Detroit?
Ooh.
What are they trying to tell us here, Hollywood?
Those are some questions.
Man, they've got it out for Detroit.
And is it sad that if it is that desolate, that it's still cheaper to film in Serbia than it is in Detroit?
What does it say about What does it say about our cost of living right now? If even in like Detroit looks that bad, that it's like we can't afford this. Like what?
Oh,
they have squatters' rights.
Who knew that Don't Breathe 2 would bring up such economical questions?
We just take the deep dive here or PSA. So if anything, it's I don't know, man. Just be smart with your money, I guess, because or move to
Or you'll end up in Detroit.
You know what?
I'm almost picturing like it's like in a Euro trip where it's like that nickel got the red lobster and like all the fucking the fancy hotel and stuff and like.
You know what? There's gonna be more world events that happen that are gonna drain your savings. Just spend your money. That's my PSA this week.
That's how to be smart with your money. Spend it on experiences, not stuff.
Yes.
Go do stuff.
Go
Live
to
that
Serbia.
life.
If anyone listening in Serbia, we'd love to come visit.
If it's safe, you have to tell us if it's safe because we don't know. We're Americans. We don't actually look outside.
Yeah,
of our
those
own
dogs
country.
weren't in the movie. They just wouldn't leave.
We
Like,
have a
fuck
lot
it.
of-
Just act around the dogs, guys, or they're gonna bite your asses.
It's like they're part of the movie now.
Those dogs. That was another thing that he was like, "I'm gonna save the dog," and I'm like, again, that's bare minimum. You save the fucking dog. Like that's not redeeming. You save the dog.
I was disappointed that Carlos Manson didn't save the dog because he kind of hesitated. He was like, "What about the dog?" Like
you don't
come
know
on,
the
man.
dog's dead.
Like, come on, man. Like he kind of hesitated. But was like, all right, well, I guess.
And I knew that was what was going to happen with the dog, too. It's like he's going to lead them back to where they are. Like, he's just gonna.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally called it, too. I was like, it's going to be a revenge flick for the dog, too.
Yep.
And I don't get why the dude got mad. He's like, when he called him disloyal fucker or disloyal dog, I was like, no, he was loyal because he came back to you.
Okay,
he
you're
found his way home.
You're talking about a guy that spent 8 years in prison only to come out to find his meth wife is dying, and now she's having trouble cooking for them, so their solution is to find their long-lost daughter so they can harvest the organs from this pedophile-looking surgeon they found that was on the news. And you're asking, what was the question again?
Well, I just said that the guy got mad at the dog for being disloyal.
Yeah, disloyalty.
Yes,
That's
disloyalty. Well, he's big on loyalty. He's loyal to his meth wife.
I couldn't okay, I get that's where they were going. The whole organ transplant, doctor, black market organ thing was supposed to be the horror aspect, right?
And I think that's the thing that was that it was so out there that it was kind of all right, it's so much there that fans that follow these things and kind of follow the trails or whatever, it was so much out there that you're okay, I can't ignore it, but I know they're trying to lead me there, but I'm
yeah,
so it's still kind of you made your own surprise by being too smart, and I really appreciated that with because this movie could have easily been Steven Seagal level, just revenge, stupidity.
I got the whole because they had that commercial, or not the commercial, the news clip or whatever, right in the beginning about the doctor who they were trying to find, and so when he first popped up in the bathroom, when Warren first pops up in the bathroom, I was like, is he following this bitch for her organs? Because I thought that's where they were leading it. But as soon as he swiped her hair, I was like, okay, he noticed that. There was a shot they focused in on. But
they still try to lead you there because later it's look at this red cooler. Yeah. The official cooler is transporting organs.
I see what you get, Paul. They were trying to do a lot of misdirection to try to lead you a different way.
Yeah. And it was so on the nose that you couldn't ignore it.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're but I know, it can't be that obvious. And you're okay, I'm glad it wasn't, and I'm glad they're taking you at least somewhere else for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, they did kind of, they did kind of fake you out, because that other guy that follows her downstairs and puts her, or she gets in the box and she almost drowns and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really care if she died. Like, he was like, we'll just get what we need.
Yeah, it totally made it seem like it was just the organs. Still,
yeah.
You know, like, because, who
and
cares?
I still think it was at that point.
I mean, it is.
It always was.
It is, and it was all along, but I'm sure it was one of those things where, like, we kind of need her alive, but, you know.
Yeah, no.
But they didn't know that until they saw the doctor, though, remember?
Yeah, that dude's like a pedophile. Like, why do they have to make his hair and his shirt so tight? Like, they totally had his shirt like 2 sizes too small.
I know, and when she walks out and he's kind of like side eyeing her, like making it so obvious, like, I don't want to look at you in the eye.
I know all of that thing. I'm like,
that whole thing. I was like, did he say, like, if she leaves, you guys can do whatever you want with her? She's no longer my daughter. She's no longer protected. Like, they were just gonna attack her at that moment. Like,
who even knows? Yeah, as she's walking by, like, looking at these dudes, looking back at her, I'm like, it's a good choice to leave. Yep, you keep on walking.
Yeah, see, again, your best option is still the fucking orphanage where those kids were like,
And then the mom rolls out, right? Like, I wanted her to be, like, all gross looking.
No,
I was
she was gross looking.
She was.
Yeah, no, I wanted her to be, like, burned and, like, gross looking from the fire. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Like, because I saw the slow things. I was like, oh, are we going to get a cool, like, deformed body thing?
No, she scares the shit out of her and leaves anyway. Fucking Freddy Krueger on wheels comes out.
That's what I wanted. It's a horror movie. I was told there would be horror, okay?
No one told you there'd be horror. I was told that he was not the protagonist, and goddamn it, they held to that standard, because I'm like, I hate all of these people. Yeah, you go to that orphanage.
You die, you go to hell.
You go to that orphanage and you play those stupid things with that scooter and you kill all those children and yourself, and you die happy.
I really wanted her to walk into that orphanage with the hand still hanging off the hand.
No, that is my one thing about this movie. That hand, if that hand could slide out of the handcuffs after the arm was chopped off, why wouldn't it have just slid out while she was dangling into the 12-foot pool or whatever, right? So she needed to go up to the orphanage with the handcuff on one arm, with the handcuff attached to the other bitch's arm, because no one would fuck with you in the orphanage if you show up with a fucking severed arm.
Yeah, just hanging. Like, I obviously can get out of some shit.
Just be like, all right, no one mess with Tara Phoenix Tara. That bitch showed up with a severed arm. I would have chose.
No offense to any Taras out there, but Phoenix is a way cooler name.
Phoenix is a way cooler name. Either way.
I would have chose Phoenix as well.
Yeah, especially, I'm sorry, Detroit, but how many Taras do you know in Detroit? Probably.
You don't know anyone from Detroit, so
I've known a few people from Detroit.
I've known from a few from Detroit, yeah.
And I'm sure they knew a lot of Taras. Tara just seems like a Detroit kind of name.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never been to Detroit. So if we're wrong, I'm sorry. This is what Hollywood has made me believe. Yeah, because even when the hand dries up and it's just like a skeleton, then you still, like, people be like, that's the skeleton of the hand she just showed up with.
And then you hold it up and you say, I literally had to cut my mom off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you just let little bits out. Like, someone ever steps up to you like, this belonged to my mother.
Who was dead weight, so I cut it off.
The fuck you think I did to you? Be like, all right, that's...
Yep.
All right. Mercy! No, that's what you have to do if you're going to a fucking group home in Detroit.
As someone with toxic parents, more power to you. Cut them bitches off. You cut them off. You let their dead weight go, all right? Into the pool with them.
She literally did it.
Metaphorically,
we do not condone... I mean, unless you're chained to them and they're going to harvest your organs.
If they try to harvest your organs, fuck them up, okay? You fuck them up. That is self-defense and
whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
I was wondering when she was dragging around, why did she, what's her face, Tara Phoenix, whatever you want to call her, just didn't start playing dead weight. Be like, she's not going to be able to just drag you because that wheelchair's got some sort of weight limit, probably.
I wanted her to have had some repercussions. Like, I was so annoyed when she just fucking moved her legs. I was like, did that bitch just move her legs? Like, I was like, she didn't even get hurt, like really hurt in the explosion. I was like, come on, like all she now has is a bad heart. Fuck that bitch. Like she deserved more.
Was it even that, or was it just like bullshit just to be like, I'm dying because maybe she just had fucking too much meth? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know. It could be. I would imagine.
I don't know. Meth probably just takes over your body. I have no idea.
Meth done fucked up her heart.
You know, it eats your teeth, so it can't be good for your heart. I mean,
or the rest of your insides.
It's got to do something to your heart.
I did like the brutality of some of the stuff when he pulls horrible haircut through the door.
Oh yeah,
glass of the door. I thought we were gonna get another Michael Myers throat through the back.
I was waiting for that too. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I like that. Like with the brutality of the first one for sure.
Yeah.
I think the fact that, I didn't know that Fede Alvarez was attached to both of them until I saw the credits. I'm like, oh, that's why it was so brutal, because he has that type of style of filmmaking where it's just brutal.
I'm pretty sure he directed the first one.
Yeah.
The
first one. And I think he produced.
See, that's the thing. It's like I completely forgot. But because the fact it was Fede Alvarez, I think that's what lended to the brutality of everything. Because, like I said, we know what type of filmmaker he is, and that just added more to the brutality of it. Because you knew the kills were going to be bad, like as far as gore and how bloody they were going to be. So when you saw them, you're like, okay, who's going to be the first one to die, and how bad is it going to be?
Let's talk about the end credit scene. Do you guys think he's alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely leaving it open for a third.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, like, okay, let's test the waters for a third by leaving his kind of maybe
iffy,
maybe not, he's alive kind of thing.
I don't know. I didn't care if he died because he's still not a great dude.
I know, and where do you
he's a shit person.
Because it's like, you've shown us 2 movies now where we don't really care for this guy. But, like, where do you go with him? And I think that's interesting. So I think people might be like, okay, where do you go now? Because I still don't care for this guy. And maybe people are like, I do want to see him die.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like that thing. Like, eventually he'll gain the Freddy, fandom.
True.
Jason fandom, Michael fandom, where we root for them instead.
Your favorite asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's the burning orphanage of children. Like, how far is he gonna go to redeem himself?
He saves a whole dog park or some shit.
Yeah, there you go. A dog orphanage.
Well, I know it's. Yeah, and I know the actor has played other characters before, but all I can see was Ike Clayton from Tombstone every time I see him.
When he killed Discount Eminem, or he was going to kill him the second time, or when he finally does kill him or whatever, and he was fighting him in the it was like the greenhouse or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was fighting him, and when he had him on the ground or whatever, and he was coming up to him, I think I was like, now glue his eyes shut just to fuck with him.
I love
he does
the bad haircut ones, like, call him in, and the guy's like, fine, and I'm like, his lips are all bleeding, and I'm like, really, you're gonna make that dude talk on the phone right now?
He's like, no one's gonna.
My lips hurt right now. Can I just? I don't want to call.
And I'm like, what did stabbing him in the cheek do? Because the guy was like he was just drowning in blood in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he opened that thing and cut it, and finally all that blood poured out, I'm like, poor guy can finally fucking breathe. Like, he's just drowning in blood.
I know, and I'm like, you thought the better choice was to go through the side of his cheek.
I know. I totally thought he was gonna go through the front to make at least a little hole.
Yeah.
Like, relax your jaw, move your teeth out of the way is the route I thought he was going, from the front, not the side. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
Don't super glue your lips together, kids. It's a bad idea.
Or your nose.
It wasn't Discount Eminem's choice, all right?
This is true.
It wasn't Machine Gun Eminem's choice.
Machine Gun Eminem. No, that
Machine Gun?
Machine Gun Eminem was the bad haircut one.
Eminem Kelly.
Eminem Kelly, there we go.
There you go.
And then we had Hispanic Charlie Manson.
No, wait, you're saying
bad hair.
Jim Bob or Billy Bob? What was his name?
Jim Bob, yeah.
You're saying Jim Bob is Machine Gun Eminem?
Yes.
No, I'm saying the other one was.
Oh, that's Discount Eminem.
No, he looks
that was
like
Discount Eminem.
Machine Gun Eminem to me. The other one looks like Dee Snider and maybe Eminem.
It's a whole Eminem cousin offspring.
That's what I'm saying.
What it is.
Cameo for like nobodies that were involved in like celebrity's life. Like this would be like this
Celebrity
dumbest thing.
lookalikes.
But like people would spend $5 on this just to be like, haha, coworker, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna get like fucking Artie Lang's neighbor for no fucking reason to give you a call. Hi, I'm blah 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 trash guy.
Trash guy.
There you go.
That's gonna be a thing someday. Like, what's in their trash?
Probably. I did like the whole Iraq, Afghanistan war vets thing where the guy was like dishonorably discharged from a dishonorable war or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's funny because this movie was made before we just left that war. Before we just sauntered on home that one day.
Yeah.
What a year it's been.
Yes.
It's almost done.
Almost over. You think 2022 is going to be better? Or you think we're
No.
going to see this dude rape another chick with some cum turkey baster in the future?
I don't
I
know.
think he's too old for kids now. All
Let's
right, he
hope.
had his chance. He tried to make one. It didn't work out. He
tried to steal one.
Floor one day, and that didn't work out.
He
So
did.
what the moral of the story and the horror PSA really is: don't have kids as a single man. Just don't.
Yes.
You can't do it on your own. And if you're blind, you're fucked, man. I don't know.
Yes.
I think the moral of the story is don't
pick up kids you find.
don't do rape. And
Nobody was raped in this movie.
well, hey, the moral of the story should always be don't do rape. And
Yes.
if you find a child on the floor, maybe call someone in authority. Maybe just pick up a phone and be like, hey,
Okay.
found a
He
young
can't. He's blind.
somebody should do something. I'm just gonna leave it here. It looked like it was half okay. I threw a blanket on it, left a juice box. You come get it.
He
Yeah.
didn't have a phone.
Oh my
He's
god.
blind.
Okay, then leave a note. I don't care.
He can't write.
He
his
can't.
lines.
He'll write it in Braille.
With that kid. He would have snuggled up with her, made her all warm.
Somebody else would have came and took her then.
Yeah.
See, that's
Okay,
the.
are you saying that
I'm
people
not-
in Detroit just take kids they find?
No, I'm saying Hollywood says that. No, because he wanted a
Yes.
kid. That was his whole thing about the first one. His kid died. His daughter died.
You said somebody else would have come along and taken her. So
Yes.
you're saying that everyone in
Okay.
Detroit wants to come
No,
along
I'm not
and take
saying
a
everyone
kid.
in Detroit. I'm saying everyone in that fucking meth head's neighborhood. Someone would have grabbed that fucking kid and taken it too. In that neighborhood where it was
There
just a
was-
meth house like that.
No.
And surrounded by nothingness there.
Because the cops showed up and they took the guy because they thought he did it. They figured out that they blew it up or whatever. So, like, the cops showed up
Okay,
there.
but
One
you-
point.
no,
So what I'm
no,
saying is, if you would have just
no.
left the dog with the girl,
No,
the proper
you're-
authorities would have showed up.
You're assuming that
And maybe
You're
don't
assuming
steal
that they showed up.
children.
You're
Is all I'm
assuming-
saying.
You're
Okay?
assuming they showed up there and arrested him. You don't know that. They could have arrested him 3 days later when it was like, okay, whose house is this? No, I don't know. It's a known meth house. You know, my informants on the street said belongs to this guy. Who fucking
No.
looks like a discount Donnie
No
Wahlberg.
excuse. If you find a
Let's
child,
go find him. I'm
please
saying
call someone.
they may not even known this child existed.
Again,
No
if
one
you
may
find a
have known.
child, call someone.
Okay, I'm not saying he's a saint, and I'm saying
I'm saying if
they
you find
did-
a child
Okay, I'm
in
not
the
saying
road,
you shouldn't do that. I'm talking
call
about the
somebody.
character in this movie, not in real life. God damn it! If you find any child, yeah, you should call somebody. Okay,
Yes.
for Christ's sake, I'm a fucking monster, you jerk.
Jesus,
True.
Paul. I'm like,
I'm
why
just
are you
saying,
disagreeing
in
with
the
me on
fucking
this?
realm of this movie?
In any
that we're
realm, if you
supposed to be
find a
talking
child,
about.
call
You
someone.
gotta call someone. Yeah.
This guy's not gonna call someone. Okay.
Well, he should, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, he shouldn't have been turkey basting bitches in his basement in
No,
the first one
so
anyway.
that's why he deserves
Ew.
to bleed out in that wet
Whatever that was.
down hotel, whatever the fuck that was.
Yes.
So we're supposed to believe that the suburbs of Detroit are all like desolate, and that there's also parts of the city and hotels that are just empty.
Yes, there's whole blocks of ghost townness.
Just left, walked away. I don't know. Is this really what it's like?
We need to visit Detroit just to see if that's true.
I've never been to. I think I've driven through it, but I don't think I've ever stopped to look around.
Find the abandoned houses.
I don't want to get turkey basted. No thank you.
Nobody came and no one gave a shit when his house burned down.
No, both times.
Like at all.
Never mind.
Like at all. Like
no, they found him because at the end of the first one, he was on the news.
No. I'm talking about this movie. When they Molotov cocktail his house and he gets out and passes out in the fucking like side of the road, he just wakes up later and no one came, no one put the fire out.
Oh yeah, no one. We're supposed to believe that he moved like eight miles away from this other house,
5 miles or so, and it's far enough away.
It's so much further that it's died even further out on the edges. Again, I have no clue if
maybe that's all his internal map can go. Like he's mapped out, in blind internal map.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as he knows that he can be safe in.
It's possible.
Could be.
So overall,
or he murdered the person that had this house.
That's also a possibility because again, turkey based and bitches.
See, that would have added. Okay,
it's frowned upon.
The horror element that you add, like they find enough fucking dead bodies of like the old people that used to live there or some shit, like some room that the girl never knew about.
Ew, and she didn't smell it.
No, it was in a barrel or something.
Even before her long last shithead dad shows up, she's like, "Fuck you! I need friends, man. I'm so lonely here. You keep me here all the time. I just want to go out into the city.
I'd rather hang out with orphans
than
with you."
Yeah, I was like, "Yep, don't like him right from the get go," because he immediately, you don't know what lonely is. Like, okay. Who's being dramatic now, old man?
Yep.
No. I don't think it amped up the horror enough. I did like the brutality of it, and the brutality and some of the kills were cool and warranted, and so that did make them a little bit sweeter because you're like, all right, fuck that dude, fuck that guy. Yeah, in the eye, in the neck. Like, you know what I mean?
The hammer. I wanted him to turn the hammer around before. Like, when they had that shot where it's focused on it before, I wanted him to, like, turn it first. And I'm like, yes! No, it's not my complaint.
Yeah, but yeah, they could have went further with a couple different things.
I think overall it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was entertaining, but I was like, meh, fuck them all.
She needed the hand on the handcuffs.
She did.
That's my one complaint about that.
Yeah, I know. I was sad about the Fernandez chick. Was that what her name was?
Hernandez.
I don't know if it said her name.
It was Hernandez.
Yeah.
It's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Detroit.
They killed her.
She's a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice if, like, they could have.
If she would have gotten some
if she would have been injured or something, maybe came back later.
Yeah.
See, if she would have came back and helped kill them or whatever, and then it was like her and the girl could just go and start somewhere. They find a room with a bunch of money in the meth motel.
That's pretty cliche, but
yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of other.
We just want a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
The whole this movie was full of other cliches. The whole Oregon black market hospital hotel scene was very cliche. It's very I was getting Hostel vibes because they had that green overlay with the dirty hanging thing, and then he's like, oh, I don't have any equipment, I just have to chop her open right here as she's alive and you're gonna watch.
She's staring at me,
and then Mom of the Year over here is like, thank you.
No, she didn't even say it, she just mouthed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, she needed to die horribly.
Yeah, I wanted her to have. I wanted someone to like stomp her somewhere, like either stomp her brain or her heart, like just crack her in half. Just I don't know that she needed a more brutal death.
Yeah,
but she did get her comeuppance though because dude shot her.
But it was just a shot.
No, but and that's the thing. Like the ending about this, and I was telling Angie this when we watched it. I'm like, the ending of this was like it was like a weird, like Shakespearean, like Romeo and Juliet, like tragedy. The way that he falls in and they die next to each other with their hands kind of towards one another. I'm like, it was like, why? Like, why did we do that? Like,
yeah,
it tried to make it seem like this weird Shakespearean tragedy. I'm like, the tragedy is that the orphanage is still the best fucking option.
Yeah, there wasn't a tragedy. Everyone deserved to die.
Everybody that deserved to die. Everybody that deserved to die died, and I think that was the good thing about it.
Yeah, Mom deserved a little.
So we don't think. So we don't think Carlos Manson deserved to die. Did he redeem himself enough for you guys?
No,
I think he did because he tried to stop everything because he told him where to go.
He chloroformed her. No, you don't chloroform bitches.
Okay, he redeemed himself by objecting to what they were doing because he said, "I don't agree with that, and if you want to get to her, go behind that door and hurry up because they're going to kill her."
Okay, then here's my question: if he didn't know what they were doing until after they got back, like say he didn't know that part, he didn't know they were doing the whole organ thing.
Redeeming quality is only if he would have helped. He could have been like, no, I don't agree with what they're doing. Let me go shoot this dude in the head real quick and I'll help you out here.
But he did help him.
No, he was just like, go that way.
He did help him. He was like, if you go that way, you can cut him off.
I don't think that's helping.
How's that not helping?
Yeah, it is.
You guys are like bare minimum with helping here. No, do some heavy lifting, man. Don't just over there. Like,
put it this way,
bro.
But it ain't his fight.
Angie, put it this way: if he hadn't told him,
quality,
it ain't his fight though.
Quality for me.
If he hadn't
minimum standards.
If he hadn't told the blind guy anything, the blind dude wouldn't have known where to go.
This is true.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You want to say redeem himself? He helped them catch that little girl.
Okay, again.
You want to redeem
but he didn't.
himself,
He didn't. I don't think he knew what they were going to do.
Some of the heavy lifting.
But he could have shot him. So not only did he not shoot him and kill him, and the thing would have been over, he also said, "Go that way.
You know,
I'm gonna help you out."
You can't get credit for not killing somebody.
You can if you're in a position to kill them and you choose not to.
I don't kill people every day. Do I get credit for this? No.
But you're not in a position to be killing someone that you aim to kill in the first place.
It does not matter. He does not get any redeeming. Carlos Manson, nope.
If I set out to eat a cheeseburger today and I don't eat that cheeseburger, then that's one less cheeseburger that was eaten in the world. Redeeming quality. Thank you very much.
No.
Here's the other thing you got to think about, though, too, Angie. Is I don't think he knew.
Why are we doing celebrity McDonald's meals? Why is that a thing in 2021?
I don't care. Carlos Manson deserved to die.
Carlos Manson, you know what? I'm okay with him. He can live.
Well, you guys have some shit-ass standards.
It's Detroit, baby. It's Detroit. Yes. He stuck his neck out more than he needed to.
Fuck those people. As somebody with toxic-ass parents, I support cutting them off swift and efficiently.
What does that have to do with Carlos Manson?
Nothing. He didn't redeem himself.
He redeemed himself enough.
Yes.
Took himself out of a toxic situation and helped someone reunite his family.
Helped that toxic situation. Capture the girl.
And then
he probably didn't know what they were going to do.
So then you do some heavy lifting to undo what you did.
The heavy lifting was, all right, I'm going to kill you.
I got you into this building. I'm going to carry you out of this building. That is the heavy lifting, sir.
Hey, the heavy lifting he did was not shoot him because he could have ended it right away.
No.
He didn't even know he was there.
You don't just... Okay, you don't get credit for not killing somebody, guys.
But if I was going to kill someone and I decide not to, then why do you not get credit for that change of heart?
No.
Yes.
It's not like you're the Grinch and your heart grew 3 sizes that day, Paul.
But the Grinch gave them their shit back.
It's not
and
like
even
the
the
Grinch,
cops.
It's not like the Grinch unalived a bunch of Who's and then was like, sorry, my heart grew 3 sizes and now I'm not going to unalive these rest of the Who's. And you have to forgive me for the ones that I already
Instead
unalived.
of murdering their Christmas, he decided not to murder their Christmas, so he got credit for it, and everyone loved him after that.
Boo to you and boo to Carlos.
And after that, they invited Grinch over for dinner. Now, presumably, he's going to be part of Christmas traditions every year. So how do you know that Uncle Carlos isn't going to come over for Thanksgiving and shit after that?
Carlos better never contact
Remember that
Phoenix
time that I
again,
saved your life?
Or Carlos is going to get shanked by
I helped
Phoenix.
your dad save your life.
If I was Phoenix and I saw Carlos, like, it'd be like, psst, psst, right in the neck.
Why didn't that little girl have a knife? Is my thing. Because as much as a survivalist as the blind man is, I feel like he would have given her a knife, especially, leaving the house and shit.
I don't know. She really didn't have anything.
No.
He made her, like, work for everything. And, like, you have to pass your tests. Like, bitch, I'm a little kid. I just want to go to school. You want me to pass some tests? Send my ass to school.
What was the point of the whole, like, survivalist training and shit if it was mainly just, I can't let you go too far because you literally were from, like, 5 miles down the road and someone will recognize you at some point? What was the survivalist training for?
I have no idea.
Because at first I was like, there's no way you're not running that dog. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Go. You guys are just training.
You didn't notice it was the dog from the first one?
That makes sense. Yeah, but still, I'm like, you don't know what this girl's story was at the beginning of the movie. She was just in the street.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed.
Waiting for someone to find her.
Overall, I wanted the mom and the dad to die more horrible deaths. They deserved it. I mean, the dad did have the kind of cool runny egg eye thing coming out of his head.
His brain took a shit through his eye sockets, basically. Because I'm like, why is it all like... It looked like refried black beans.
Yes, that was good, but...
It was a good twist that the dad did come back, though, and stab the blind dude.
That's comeuppance.
Then the little girl has to stab her.
See that? I didn't...
Sperm donor.
Okay. The thing I didn't like about this movie was... And I think the thing that you're underwhelmed about, too, is the fact that it's like... They almost tried to cram too much of this, like, drama into it. Because I didn't care for, like, the Shakespearean tragedy angles or whatever.
I was missing the tragedy.
At least the visual. I'm saying tragedy in the sense of, like, the way that Romeo and Juliet is, like, considered a tragedy or whatever. The form of the poetic nature of the stupidity of it all and the way it ends is the tragedy of it. Not the actual tragedy of the people that we don't give a shit about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but, like... I don't get the tragedy of his own stupidity and his own terribleness. Either side. I'm saying, like, no, fuck them all.
No, because the tragedy is that Terra Phoenix is literally having to choose which dad. Like, she literally has to save one of them. And she didn't have to, but she does in some sense of obligation or duty. And I think that's the tragedy of it. Like, she doesn't owe any of these fucking people anything, but she felt obligated to pick a side, and then she ultimately did.
Yeah, I would have just
That's the fucking tragedy. That's the fucking tragedy. Phoenix Terra's life is the tragedy of this thing. So it's Shakespearean action film.
I would have just been like, this ain't my fight. Peace out, bitches.
And she didn't. Even when he was like, I raped people, I turkey basted people, I did this, I killed people.
Like, I get it, Stockholm syndrome. You gotta get through it.
Well, she was, she was what we said. Anywhere from 2 to 4.
2 to 4, yeah, when he stumbled upon her. She
probably didn't remember much. She remembered that little song, and that was about it, and not her scary meth mom.
Yeah.
We used to have a kitchen in the basement where we cooked. Like, bitch, you weren't a chef. Shut up.
Don't ever trust a skinny chef.
We had a kitchen in the basement. That don't make no sense. If people start telling you shit that don't make sense, you're being gaslit. Run away.
The Pope's gonna marry us.
Run away. Well, that was it for this week in Don't Breathe 2. We only have 2 episodes left of this year, I believe.
We do.
Last one will be Krampus, the Naughty Cut. We got our Scream Factory 4K Blu-ray combo pack.
Yes, and next week we will have another 2021 movie that we will choose and let you know then.
Yes.
But until then...
Don't be shitty people.
Yes, don't try to steal your children's hearts. They're not yours. You can't have them.
Yes.
You gave it to them. It's not yours anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Not allowed. Keep your hands on your own hearts, bitches.
And don't do meth.
And don't do meth. And don't do rape.
And don't keep kids you find in the street.
Don't scoop up children.
A lot of don'ts in this movie this week.
Yes.
Don't breathe too.
Don't breathe too.
Yeah, a lot of don'ts. I mean, they're all good don'ts. They're good reminders.
20% more don'ts in this movie than last one.
Yeah.
At least.
Really amped up the don'ts in the sequel.
That's what it was. The action was a little more, but the don'ts really just amped it up.
They really got it with the don'ts, you guys. Really.
The Don't Breathe 2 or Don't Cube.
We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.